Have you ever trusted someone so deeply, only to find out that the one you loved the most was the one holding the sharpest knife behind your back? That's exactly what happened to me. Before I take you into the darkest chapter of my life, the night I discovered my girlfriend's betrayal, I need one small favor from you. Please, take a moment to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and share this story with others. Your support gives me the strength to keep telling these real, emotional stories. Stories that aren't just mine, but could be yours too. Now let me tell you how one message in a group chat destroyed the love I thought would last forever. My name is Armin, I'm 28 years old, and up until a few months ago I thought I had everything figured out. I was in a 3-year relationship with a woman named Sophia. She was 26, funny, confident, and the kind of person who could walk into any room and instantly light it up with her smile. People used to tell me all the time how lucky I was. And honestly, I believed it. I believed she was my forever. We had built a world together. Sunday mornings meant pancakes in the kitchen, fighting over who burned the first batch. Friday nights were usually spent with our close group of friends, movie marathons, late-night drives, sometimes even spontaneous karaoke battles that ended in laughter until our stomachs hurt. Sophia was always the center of our friend group, the one with the quick jokes and playful energy. She had this way of making everyone feel included, and it was one of the many things I loved about her. Our bond wasn't just about fun. We had weathered storms together too, long-distance stretches when work got tough, late-night arguments that ended in apologies, promises we made to each other about always being honest. For 3 years, I thought I knew her better than anyone else in the world. I thought I was safe with her. I thought she was safe with me. But here's the cruelest part about betrayal. It never comes from your enemies. It always comes from the person you thought would protect your heart. And for me, it all started unraveling in the most unexpected way, through a simple group chat. It was a regular Wednesday evening when our friend circle decided to plan a weekend trip. Someone created a group chat titled Adventure Squad. The notifications started buzzing instantly, people joking, debating whether we should go camping, hiking, or just rent a cabin by the lake. The energy was light-hearted. Adil, one of the jokesters of the group, typed, "Trips like these always bring out secrets. Remember last time?" Everyone dropped laughing emojis, memes, and random inside jokes. It was the usual nonsense that made our group feel like family. But then Sophia replied with something that made my stomach twist. Ha ha ha, yeah, sometimes secrets come out at the worst times. The message looked playful on the surface, but something about it felt off. The words weren't just a joke, they had weight. I felt it in my chest, a strange unease that I couldn't explain. I stared at her reply longer than I should have, reading it again and again. Why did it sound like she was speaking from experience? I tried to brush it off, convincing myself I was overthinking. But then Hina, another close friend, chimed in. "Okay, Sophia, that sounds way too suspicious. What secret are you talking about?" Everyone jumped on the teasing. "Yeah, spill it. Now you have to tell us. Come on, don't leave us hanging." Sophia dropped another message. "Relax, guys, nothing serious, just mistakes everyone makes. Don't worry, Arman doesn't know." The moment I saw my name in her message, my heart sank. My palms went cold and I felt the air leave my lungs. The group lit up with more messages, the banter getting louder, everyone laughing, not realizing what those words did to me. And in that instant, I knew. Whatever secret she was hinting at, it wasn't just a joke. It was real. At first, I told myself I was reading too much into it. Maybe it really was just Sophia being playful, the way she always teased our friends. But the longer I stared at her words, mistakes everyone makes. Don't worry, Armin doesn't know. The harder it became to breathe, my chest tightened. My hands trembled around my phone. Why would she drag my name into a joke like that? Why would she say I didn't know? The group chat was buzzing with laughter and teasing, but I wasn't laughing. I was frozen. Then Hina pushed again. Sophia, stop being shady. What do you mean by mistakes everyone makes? Like what? The chat exploded with messages. Yeah, tell us. Uh-oh. Is this about Armin? Now we're curious. And then came her reply, casual and careless, as if she had no idea what she was about to do to me. It's really not that big of a deal. Just one of those things that happens when you're young and drunk. We all have stories like that, right? No one's perfect. She added another laughing emoji. But to me, nothing about it was funny. I felt my pulse pounding in my ears. My thoughts started spiraling. What story was she hinting at? Why did she suddenly look so nervous, sitting next to me on the couch, clutching her phone a little too tightly, her eyes darting away whenever I glanced at her? The teasing in the group continued, but I was no longer paying attention to the banter. I was only focused on Sophia, her shifting body language, the way her smile didn't quite reach her eyes, the tension in her shoulders. A part of me wanted to confront her right then and there, but another part whispered, wait, don't jump to conclusions. Let's see what she says next. I didn't know it yet, but I was only minutes away from hearing the truth, the kind of truth that would split my world apart. The group chat had turned into chaos. Everyone was laughing, teasing, pressing Sophia for details. And then, in the middle of all the noise, she typed the words that shattered everything. Okay, fine, I'll admit it. At that music festival last year, I hooked up with someone. But it was just one time. I was drunk and it doesn't matter anymore. It's in the past. My entire body went numb. The phone nearly slipped from my hands as I read her message again, praying I had misunderstood. But no, it was clear, undeniable. My mind flashed back instantly to that night. We had gone to the festival together. I remember how excited she was about the lineup, how she begged me not to leave early when I told her I had an important meeting the next morning. I kissed her on the forehead, told her to stay safe, and promised I trusted her, and while I was driving home, thinking she was dancing with our friends. She was with someone else. The group chat blew up. Wait, what? Are you serious, Sophia? Armin, did you know about this? OMG, this is insane. Dozens of notifications kept popping up, but I didn't care about the group anymore. My eyes were fixed on her. She was sitting right beside me on the couch, pale and stiff, her hands shaking as she held her phone. She didn't dare look at me. My heart was pounding so violently I could hear it in my ears. A heavy silence filled the room, broken only by the endless buzz of messages exploding in the chat. I finally found my voice, low and trembling. Sophia, is this true? She turned to me slowly, eyes wide, face drained of all color. Her lips parted, but no words came out at first. Then, in a voice so soft I almost didn't catch it, she whispered, "It was a mistake, Armin. I barely even remember it. It didn't mean anything, but the damage was already done. She hadn't just betrayed me, she had confessed it in front of all our friends, as if it were a silly anecdote, a story worth a laughing emoji. And in that moment, the love I thought was unshakable, cracked into pieces, I knew could never be put back together. My hands were shaking as I put my phone down. The group chat was still buzzing, friends throwing questions left and right, but for me, the world had gone completely silent. I turned towards Sophia. She was still staring at her screen, her face pale, her body stiff like she had been caught under a spotlight. "Sophia," I said, my voice trembling but sharp, "tell me it isn't true. Tell me you didn't cheat on me that night." Her eyes flickered to mine for a split second before darting away. She swallowed hard, then whispered, "Armin, listen. It's not what it sounds like." "Not what it sounds like?" I snapped, anger flooding my chest. "You literally admitted it in front of everyone. You cheated on me, and you let it slip in a group chat like it was some kind of joke." She reached for my arm, tears welling in her eyes. "Please, Armin, you're blowing this out of proportion. It was just one drunken mistake. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd overreact like this." Her words burned. Overreact? My trust had just been shattered, and she was calling me dramatic. "You had an entire year to come clean," I shot back, my voice rising. "A whole year where you could have been honest. Instead, you lied. You let me love you, trust you, build my life around you, while you carried this secret, She wiped her tears angrily, her tone shifting from pleading to defensive. I didn't want to lose you, okay? I knew if I told you, you'd throw everything away over one stupid night. I was scared. I thought I could just bury it and move on. Move on, I repeated bitterly. How do you move on from betrayal? How do you laugh it off with a winking emoji like it's funny? Her voice sharpened, laced with blame. You've been distant lately, Armin. That night at the festival, I felt alone. I made a mistake, yes, but maybe if you'd been more present, it wouldn't have happened. I stared at her in disbelief. She had just turned her betrayal into my fault. My anger boiled over, but underneath it was something worse. Disappointment so heavy, it felt like my chest was collapsing. I realized then that this wasn't just about cheating. It was about the kind of person she truly was. I couldn't sit there any longer. The walls of the apartment felt like they were closing in on me, every breath heavier than the last. My chest burned with anger, betrayal, and disbelief. I grabbed my keys from the table. Armin, wait, Sophia cried, her voice cracking. She reached out for me, but I pulled away. I need air, I muttered, storming out before she could stop me. The night was cold, the streets empty, but inside my head it was chaos. I drove aimlessly, my hands gripping the wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. Every mile I drove, her words replayed in my head. It was just a mistake. You're overreacting. If you'd been there, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Excuses, blame, lies. Not once did she truly apologize. Not once did she take responsibility. I pulled over at some empty lot, resting my head against the steering wheel. My chest heaved as the realization hit me like a tidal wave. The woman I thought I would marry had betrayed me. And worse, she didn't even respect me enough to own up to it. By the time I drove back hours later, I knew exactly what I had to do. When I walked through the door, Sophia was sitting on the couch, her eyes red and swollen from crying. The moment she saw me, she jumped up. Armin, please, she whispered, her voice hoarse. We can fix this. I'll do better. I'll never hurt you again. Just don't leave me. I stared at her for a long moment, my heart heavy. Then I said the words I never thought I'd say. It's over, Sophia. Her knees buckled and she collapsed onto the couch, sobbing uncontrollably. She begged, pleaded, even shouted, accusing me of throwing everything away. But nothing she said could undo the truth. This wasn't about one mistake. This was about lies, disrespect, and a complete lack of accountability. And in that moment I chose myself over her betrayal. By the next morning, the group chat was in complete chaos. Half the messages were people asking if it was really true. The other half were whispers of disbelief at how casually Sophia had confessed it. Some of my friends reached out to me directly. Bro, we're with you. That was messed up. Can't believe she'd do that to you. But not everyone was on my side. A few tried to defend her. Armin, it was just one mistake. Don't you think 3 years together means more than that? Maybe you should forgive her. People slip up. Their words stung, but they also opened my eyes. Not everyone understands what betrayal does to a person. Not everyone understands that cheating isn't a slip. It's a conscious choice. Meanwhile, Sophia wasted no time painting herself as the victim. She told some friends I had kicked her out, that I abandoned her, that I was cruel for not giving her a second chance. I even heard she claimed I'd been distant for months and pushed her into it. Hearing those rumors made me laugh bitterly. I hadn't pushed her anywhere. She had walked straight into betrayal all on her own. Still, it hurt to know she was twisting the story, trying to make me the villain. So I did the only thing I could. I cut her out completely. I changed the locks on my apartment. I blocked her number, her social media, every way she could reach me. I knew that if I didn't, she'd keep trying to claw her way back into my life, and I couldn't afford to let her poison me any further. The truth was simple. My relationship had ended the moment she chose to betray me. Everything after that was just damage control. In the weeks that followed, I felt like I was living in two different worlds. On the outside, life looked normal. I went to work, met friends, smiled when I had to. But inside, it felt like a storm that wouldn't settle. I replayed every moment of our 3 years together. Every late-night talk, every promise, every I love you. And I asked myself over and over, was it all a lie? The truth I finally accepted was this: Sophia's cheating wasn't just about one night at a festival. It wasn't about being drunk or being lonely. It was about choices. She chose to betray me. She chose to keep it a secret. She chose to laugh about it in front of our friends instead of owning up to it. And that told me everything I needed to know about who she really was. Cheating doesn't just happen. It's not an accident. It's a decision to disrespect the person who trusted you most, and trust, once broken, can never be the same again. Walking away from her wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do for yourself is to choose your own peace over someone else's betrayal. And that's the lesson my story left me with. Trust is everything. Without it, love is nothing more than a fragile illusion waiting to shatter. If you've ever been betrayed, if you've ever felt the weight of broken promises, I want you to know you're not alone. We've all carried scars, and sometimes sharing them is what helps us heal. So I ask you, share your story in the comments below. Tell me how you survived, what you learned, and what trust means to you. Because your words might be exactly what someone else out there needs to hear tonight. And please, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support means more than you know.